hope you're doing great on this Monday, partly sunny day. Let's get to Subitizing before we get into our fractions. Here we go. What is the value? How many more to make 10? How many to make 10? How many left over? 3 to make the 10, 0 left over. That means it's 1 10 and 0 ones. We call that 10. Left over. 1 10, 1 1. With 2 left over, that's 1 10 and 2 ones, also known as 12. How many to make 10? 3 to make 10, and 3 left over. That's 1 10, 3 ones. We call that 13. Let's do one more. How many to make 10? 3 to make 10 with 4 left over. We call that 1 10 and 4 ones. The nickname for that is 14. True story. Okay, so guys, we're getting ready to get into our next standard. And Miss Street again is gonna go super slow. Like Dory, because I love Dory. And when she talks well, do you remember that part? It's hilarious. Okay, so we're gonna look at our fraction bars and our fraction circles that we made last week. So let me get my ducks in a row. Quack, quack, quack. I'm working on it. Okay, so here we go. We are supposed to be interpreting fractions with denominators of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. We also call those halves, thirds, fourths, sixths, and eighths using an area model or a length model. And an area model can be a rectangle or even like a circle. I'm going to show you both because I really want to keep focused in on our clockwork from first and second grade, and our geometry work from first and second grade. But also a length model, and I've said this before, a length model is just a number line. And you guys need to understand the numerator of a fraction is telling you how many equal parts we're talking about. And on a number line is telling you the length, how many equal lengths that we have or spaces that we have, okay? So let's look at our first problem. Miss Street's getting this straight out of our standards, our unpacking documents teachers. This says, Mrs. Turner says to the class, last weekend I saw a garden. I wonder if she went to Biltmore. I doubt it, since we're all closed up, I guess. The garden had equal sized sections and the following flowers. 3/8 of the garden had red roses, 1/8 of the garden had purple tulips, and 4/8 of the garden had yellow sunflowers. Draw a picture of the garden and label the different parts. Write an explanation how you determined how to label the sunflowers. So I can do that even with my eighths, because I know I'm working with 8 equal parts. So I'm bringing down my fraction bars and I'm gonna make a garden. I think that looks good. Okay, or I could even have a circle garden, and I'll use the eighths for that too. Okay, so if I were to draw this, let's look. What does our problem tells us? It tells us that 3/8. I hope you can see my street writing. 3/8 of the garden is red roses. How many of you moms out there like to get red roses? I mean, they're nice, but I'm not a huge fan. But I mean, they're still really pretty and nice. And if you ever get some, you better say thanks, okay? So, red roses, 1/8 of the garden has purple tulips. Guess what? Miss Street can use her purple marker for that. Purple tulips. Okay, I'm looking. 4/8 of the garden had yellow sunflowers. I'm going to do that in orange just because yellow marker's hard to see. So 4/8 of the garden are yellow, but I'm using orange so you can see it, sunflowers. Now my question is, draw a picture of the garden and label the different parts. Write an explanation how you determined how to label the sunflowers. So we're talking, how did we label the sunflowers in our garden? So if I were to draw this garden made with 8s, okay, let me get out another piece of paper. I know, I got a lot going on here. I'm okay with that. So if I'm going to draw this area model, because this one lends itself more to an area model, I'm just going to use the one that I did with my fraction bars. So I have 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, right? So my problem tells me that 3/8 are red roses. So Miss Street's going to color in 3. I can do it any way I want, honestly, but I'll just do it basic today. 3/8 is red roses. Okay, and by that, this is our numerator. It's our number that's telling us how many equal parts there are that are red roses out of all the equal parts together. Okay, my next part tells me I have 1/8. That's purple tulips. So I'm going to take my purple marker. Oh, I'll do it simple. Okay, 1/8 purple tulips. So that tells me 1 out of my 8 equal areas, 8 equal parts, that is called a numerator. And last I have 4 yellow sunflowers. 4/8 of the beautiful garden is yellow. And Miss Street is going to use orange because you can see it better than yellow. Or I think you can. It's just what I'm doing. So let's see. My question says, draw a picture of the garden and label the different parts. So this is roses, and I know that it's 3/8, but each part is 1/8, 1/8, so that's 3/8 roses. Okay, I know I have 1 of the 8 equal parts is purple tulips. So 1/8 is tulips. I can see down below, wow, I actually, when Miss Street just looked down, I saw this as half of the garden is half, because this part of the garden takes up the same amount of area as, yeah, she's going there. Whoa, there she goes. Watch out now. Here we go. Is the same area as this, right? So Miss Street can say half of the garden is yellow sunflowers, or I can say 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, and 1/8. So I can see that as 4/8 of the garden is sunflowers. Check that out. Cool, huh? So we used the area model to show. What about if I wanted to do it, what if it was a circle garden? I know, right? Miss Street's making stuff up. But it's because it's fun, and you know, I can. So let's look here. I want to try to do this on my clock. So, just keeping in mind my circle discs, okay? These are in 8s. So I've got to divide my clock into 8s. I know, they're not perfect, and that's okay. Miss Street's good with that. So if I divide my clock in half, I know that's half past to the 6. Then in fourths, I know they're in the same fraction family. So this is 1/4 of time, or the garden. 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. To make 8s, I divide between the 4s. Okay? So my garden could look like this, right? Now all my tiles here that I made last week, I colored them all purple, but that's okay. But on here I could say, okay, well this one, 3/8 is red. So this is red, red, and red. 1/8 is purple, so I can label this one purple. And the rest, 4/8, or look at this right here. Miss Ramsey taught us this, Miss Tracy Ramsey. Half of the garden is yellow sunflowers. But we also can see that that is 4/8. Isn't that cool? So we're interpreting fractions with these denominations using an area model. Today we did area models and we talked about our numerator, meaning how many equal parts out of the whole equal parts, okay? So the equal parts that were roses, the equal parts that were tulip, and the equal parts that were sunflowers. And we did it both in a rectangular area model, and we used our clock because Miss Street thinks it's really important to tie things into our clock too, because in 1st and 2nd grade we divided circles, we partitioned circles into 3rds and 6ths. Yeah, we did, and I just did it in 8ths to show you, okay? So that's all we're going to do for today, 3rd graders. We're going to be right here again tomorrow looking more at this standard. Today we used area models. We might do area models again tomorrow, or we might go into our number lines, okay? So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Looks like the sun's really trying hard to shine, so get outside and play. If you have allergies, take your medicine because Miss Street knows what that's like. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.